Manifestation. How to manifest anything. And what are the mechanics of manifestation? We first have to define manifestation. Pretty much, it is taking your imagination and turning it into a reality. At a more fundamental level, it is imposing change upon the world. Now, all change requires power. All power is the divine feminine, and the divine feminine is Shakti. So the question now is, how do you accumulate Shakti to impose change? Very quickly, we narrow down the scope. We'll continue to narrow it down even further. But before proceeding, we have to preface, in no way does the mystical replace the practical. In your spiritual evolution, it should be treated and understood like building a ladder. In no way do you skip any rung in the construction as you wish to pursue higher and higher understandings within the spiritual realm. If you think to yourself that, oh, I got long legs, or I'm going to get to the top as fast as possible, so I'm just going to skip the bottom rungs, you will surely wobble and you will surely crash on your way to the top. Each rung functions as a means of stability for the entire ladder. What are the examples of these bottom rungs? Sleep, hygiene, diet, exercise, not being materialistically desperate. Some great examples. Get those in order. The clinically significant, the statistically significant, and then you can really dive into the spiritually significant. Now, this is often quite difficult because the level of detachment is not yet there. Essentially, you have to be able to look at your own body like any other tool or instrument. You have to be able to look at yourself and say, this is a tool. In this case, when we're talking about desires, it is a receiver for the signals that are out there in the universe. You often hear people talk about there's these energies, they're the gods. And the gods, we want to communicate with the gods. Well, if the receiver is not properly calibrated, if it's not finely tuned in the right way, then how do you expect to receive anything in a real, foundationally changing, life altering way? Calibration of the body is done through some of the most time tested practices within yoga. You got meditation, you got breath work, the pranayamas. Now, all that has been pretty much redundantly done on the internet, online by many people everywhere. You can look up basic breath work, intro to pranayama, all that good stuff, how to meditate, all redundantly done all over the place. Great, that resource is there. We'll dive into desires. Why are desires so important? You should know the story of Parvati getting upset with her husband, Lord Shiva, for sundering the god of desires, Kamadeva, to ashes with his third eye after being disturbed by him. Parvati told her husband, you have to bring that man back. Bring back Kamadeva. And by the way, the god of desire, this includes lust. Lust for people, lust for money, all that stuff. So why bring desire back? Because desires is the first mantra. It is the first vigraha, the first yantra. By all intents and purposes, your desire is the foundation to higher and higher steps within spirituality. It is the first steps. It is your greatest lesson. It is also the seat where you understand the ability to have a profound focus on a singular thing. Paired with a boon giving mantra, and you can achieve amazing things within the body. Desire is where it all starts. Now, what exactly a boon giving mantra will do is not going to be the same for everyone. Let's get this straight. For example, let's say there's 100 people within a room. All these people are initiated by the same guru, given the same mantra. They have to do it at the same time of day, same count, same desire. All the variables are practically the same. Everyone's situation in their lives are also theoretically, practically identical, right? Make sure that you have a hypothetical. It's theoretically the same, okay? Even so, you'll get 100 different results. You might get the same goal accomplished, but might happen at a different time and by different means. Why is that? Well, because it's not truly all controlled. Not everything is 100% the same. Everyone is different. Every single person is different. And to truly understand that everything is interconnected is to understand that the physical manifestation of a given body changes the spiritual ability to connect to certain conceptions. And this is more spiritually evident. If you want direct spiritual evidence of this, you look at the Vedic astrological chart. The correlative differences between each person is there. And it manifests as physical attributes within an individual and is correlative to the planets that affect you. Karmic ripening happens differently for everyone. The spiritual benefits happen differently at different times for everyone. Now, I bring up karma. It's important to understand that karma, anything to do with karma, is extremely complicated. Extremely complicated. Karma is what? Interconnected with everything. Again, to reiterate, it is interconnected with everything. Everything is so interconnected. And karma is the action of the universe, right? The cause and effect of everything. So it's all interlinked. A deck of cards alone has 8.066 times 10 to the 67th power different ways you can organize it in a standard deck of cards. That's a huge number, a very huge number. So to think a person could try to map out possible states within their life is also insane. So just keep it simple. Do not obsess over the results and obsess over the process. If anything, leave it up to the gods. Going back to desires, going back to when I said desires create an imbalance. You should think of desires as a vector. It is movement. It is taking a singular point and pushing somewhere. If you think of this equilibrium state, now in between my hands is the singular point of your desires. Let's say you've done your pranayama, you've done your meditation. Right here is the flat line. You're balanced. Now you want to create an imbalance, which is your desire. The vector, the singular point that you want is between my fingers. The vector in this case, let's say for this example, is pushing up. It's going up and up and up. It's creating a bend. It is creating the imbalance. That is your desire. And everything is interconnected. The world, your perceptions, shifts in energy. That's what meditating upon your desires do. Now, what this does as an actual result is that it will subconsciously make you physically pursue these things to, the different variables you will just automatically feel how to pursue in your own way. And you'll also be bending reality. Now, remember, you do want to start from a place that is flat. This is why pranayamas, these basic meditations, focusing on a singular point, not associated with your desires, is the best way to start before trying to focus on your desires, because you don't know what other vectors there are in your field that could affect the outcome of the meditations that you're doing. So start from a flat base and then work from there. That is the best way to do anything, including manifesting your desires. When you're doing these practices and you're having all sorts of experiences, oh, it's so beautiful. Oh, it's so crazy. It's so strange. All these feelings or these things I'm seeing. Great, fantastic. Doesn't matter. All that doesn't matter. If you do not relativize your experiences with deliberate action, you do not know if anything is just an indulgence of the mind or something that is integrating into yourself at the level of the nervous system if you are not taking risks. If you're not going outside and confronting crisis and seeing who you are when you're in that mode, when you're in that zone, when things are happening to you right there and then. The difference between listening to your teachers and understanding your teachers is the same difference as a spiritual indulgence and a spiritual integration. The desire, meaning something that has yet to be accomplished, demands change. You want something to change. That means you have to be able to accept the price of that change. It could be you, it could be the things that you own, it could be whatever. As long as you're cool with that, then fine, go ahead. Keep going, keep doing what you're doing. If you don't have the bottom rungs in your ladder solid, that you will surely fall. And finally, the last thing I would say, you might see these one or two people, these pundits, these swamis, whoever. Some of them are fat. Some of them have abandoned their family, whatever. Don't fall for a survivor bias, okay? Planes in World War II, right? When they came back and there's bullet holes in the planes, the wrong thing to do is to look at the bullet holes that are coming back and looking at the placements and saying, we need to reinforce those placements in those planes. By virtue of them coming back, it means that where they got hit was the least lethal. You study where those planes did not get shot at, and that will presuppose that the planes that did not come back got shot in those areas. Don't fall for a survivor bias. If things are being presented to you, if someone with spiritual rigor is telling you X, Y, and Z, and it looks good, if there is a fitness plan and there's like a presentation and look at this guy, he has a six-pack now. Ask yourself, what is the percentage failure? If you do not have the data for the percentage failure and they're just presenting their methods and you just don't know, then you do not know. So do not fall for a survivor bias. Do not fall for presentations. What works for them might not work for you. Experiment, try different things, keep your experiences to yourself, and make sure those experiences are never colored by the expectations of other people. Big thing to do. Make sure that, oh, you should feel this way, you should feel that way. It's those words are definitely creating the illusion that advertisement science takes advantage of. Suggestion. Don't get suggested upon by people that are perceived to be higher than you. Remember that your practices are your own. Do not leak your Shakti by constantly telling people how you feel and all this other stuff. Keep that stuff internal to yourself. Speak to your gurus if you have it. Write it down if you don't. And your desires will become more potent over time. Keep doing things with repetition. Keep doing things on a scheduled basis. And do it with the utmost focus and utmost vigor. And that Shakti will accumulate over time. This is the Hindu Conceptualist, signing out.